this particular interface, we need to be take care about in providing with that particular respective interface methods. I mean, we need to be take care about in writing with that particular respective methods. Once we got take care about in writing with that particular interface method, for that particular interface methods, we need to take care about in providing with implementation in another class. I mean, while working this particular interface, we need to be take care about utilizing with the keyword mentioning the interface here. In that, we need to be take care about in providing with that particular respective interface methods. For that particular interface methods, we need to be provide implementation in another class. After that, according to this particular programming, according to this particular Java programming, we used to be
Recording in
mentioning
progress.
that creation of object will not be possible for interface. While working this particular interface, creation of object will not be possible for interface here. Now, the whole conclusion of understanding with interface concept in simple, we need to be mentioned that requirement is need to be take care about in performing with action. We need to be take care about in performing with action. If you want to be perform the action, how we can perform the action? By using method. If you want to be perform the action, we need to be take care about using the method. That particular method, it can be available in class or it can be available in interface. If I'm taking with method, that particular method, it can be available in class or it can be available in interface. Now, as simple, in case of our required methods, available in class, how we can access that method? By using object. If our required methods are available in class, we need to be create object and we need to be access that particular method. Assume that in case of required methods are available in interface. In case of the required methods are available in interface, according to this particular programming, we cannot take care about in creating with object for interface. While working this programming, creation of object will not be possible for interface. Because of that, we need to take care about the reference of the class. We need to be taking care about reference of that particular class and then need to be accessing the method. So don't be confused here. In simple, the whole concept and the easy understanding. Requirement is need to be access a method. According to our understanding, methods can be available in class or methods can be available in interface. In case of required methods are available in class, access a method by using object. In case of required methods are available in interface, directly we cannot create the object. Because of that, we need to be take care about in having with reference of the class. In simple, if our required methods are available in interface, if our required methods are available in interface, we need to take care about in accessing by taking the reference of the class and then need to be get access the method. See the understanding. Previously, when we are creating with the interface or we are not creating with the interface, the program is executing. Because if I'm taking with object creation, we need to be take care about in creating that particular object for the class. It's not like we created for interface. We created object for class. Because of that, it has been taking care about referring that particular class and then accessing that particular method. Okay, now let's try. Till now, what we have been done is, this is we need to be taking care about in access methods from class. We are accessing the methods from class. If we want to access a method from class, how we can access? By using object. You are taking care about in creating object. You are taking care about creating with the object directly and then accessing the method. But now our requirement is we need to take care about in accessing the method from interface. We need to take care about in accessing the method from interface. So if we want to get access the method from interface, see the understanding. If we want to get access the method from interface, now the requirement access methods from interface. We need to take care about in accessing with method from interface. If you want to be get access method from interface, see the understanding. I'm just taking care about providing with interface. Let me try directly communicating to the interface, creating the object for interface. I'm taking with that particular interface name and then taking with object name and then providing that particular interface name. Giving an error? Is it giving error or not? So according to Java programming, according to this particular Java programming, we cannot create an object for interface. If we try to create an object directly, if we try to create object directly, it will be giving an error. If we are trying to create object directly, it will be giving error. Because of that, while working interface, if you want to be get access the methods from interface, how we can access the methods from interface? How we can access the methods from interface? You need to take reference. I mean, you have to take care about, you need to be get mentioned in that using reference of the class. If you want to access the methods from interface, in simple, previously you are accessing the methods from class. Directly we are accessing the methods from class. Now we are taking care about in accessing with method from interface. So if you want to get access the methods from interface, if you want to get access the methods from interface, you need to take care about in using with reference of the class. According to the requirement, you can take care about in having with reference of any of the class. You can take care about in having with reference of any of the class here. For now, as a requirement, I'm just taking care about in having with reference of the class name. What is the class name? Firefox driver. Now we can see here the error is resolved. Right. Previously, we are accessing the method from the class directly by creating object. Now we are accessing the method. We are accessing the method from interface by using reference of the class. If you want to cross check that, you can say that I'm taking with driver dot open application. See that interface name. What is the name we got? What is the name we got? WebDriver. It has been taking care about in referring with that particular WebDriver. It has been taking care about in referring with that particular respective WebDriver. Okay. So that is what we need to be get take care about. That is what we need to be get take care about in accessing with that particular methods, open application and close application. Your output will be the same. Don't be confused. Your output will be the same. But the difference is previously you are accessing with the method directly from class. Now you are accessing the method from the interface. Previously, you have been taking care about in accessing with the method directly from class. Now you are taking care about in accessing with the method from that particular interface by taking with reference of the class. If I'm taking with that particular reference of the class, that particular reference of the class, you can take care about any of the class according to availability. According to availability, you can take care about in referring with any of the class. That is what we mentioned the example of referral walk-in. Meaning of referral walk-in? Need to take reference of the employee. But that employee, is it only one employee or any employee of the company? One employee or any employee of the company? Any employee of the company. It's not like you are restricted to take reference from any one particular employee. You can take care about in having with reference of any employee from the company. That is what it has been mentioned when you are taking with reference of the class. When you are taking with reference of the class, you can take care about in having with reference of any of the class according to the requirement. According to the requirement, you can take care about in having with reference of any of the class that will be taking with accessing that method, mentioning that open application, accessing from that particular respective WebDriver. In the same way, we need to take care about that particular one that will be taking with close application. Now, you can see that if I'm executing, we need to be able to see that in printing that particular respective output. This is we are accessing the method directly from class. This is accessing the methods from interface by taking with reference of the class here. So now the whole concept and the whole conclusion you need to be get understand in the very simple way. While doing programming, while doing programming, requirement is while doing programming, requirement is need to be get take care about in performing with action. If you want to be get perform the action, how we can perform the action? How we can perform the action? By using method. That method, how many types of method? How many types? Two types. What are those? Predefined method and user defined method, which will be taking with predefined method and will be taking with user defined method. So that particular methods, it can be predefined method or it can be user defined method. In simple, your required methods available in class, your required methods available in class. How you can access? How you can access? By using object. If your required methods available in class, you need to take care about in accessing by using object. In case of your required methods available in interface, how you can access? How you can access? By taking with reference of the class. That means whenever you are doing programming, whenever you are doing programming according to that program requirement, according to that program requirement, you need to be get understand it. Is that the required method available in class or required method available in interface? So this is what we need to be get take care about in understanding this particular concepts here. So the one we need to be get mentioned that inheritance. If I'm taking with inheritance, meaning of inheritance, accessing the data from one class to another class. In the same way, we need to take care about polymorphism. If I'm taking with polymorphism, that we need to be get implement with overload and taking with override. How we are implementing overload? How we are implementing overload? By providing method name should be same and signature should be different. In case of override, method name and signature both should be same. In the same way, we need to take care about encapsulation. If I'm taking with encapsulation, what is the general meaning of encapsulation? Data binding. I mean, you are taking care about in combining with data. In simple, we can mention that combining two different futures, combining two different futures into one single entity, combining two different futures into one single entity you will be taking with encapsulation. In the same way, we need to take care about abstraction. While working that particular abstraction, we need to take care about in following with certain standard rules here. In the first one, what is the first one? Using the keyword of abstract. The first one we need to be get mentioned that using the keyword of abstract here. And then second one, providing abstract method implementation in another class. What is the last one? Creation of object will not be possible for abstract class. So while working this particular abstraction, we need to be take care about in following with that particular certain standard rules here. In the same way, we need to take care about in working with interface. In simple, the concept of understanding interface. While working interface, if you want to create interface, what is the keyword you have to use it? What is the keyword? Interface. If you want to be use that, implement that interface, you need to be taking care about the keyword of interface. In the same way, for interface methods implementation provided in another class. For interface methods implementation provided in another class. While working with interface, we need to be take care about in accessing with interface methods. How we can access interface methods? How we can access interface methods? By taking with reference of the class. While working interface also, we cannot directly create object. Creation of object will not be possible for interface. Creation of object will not be possible for interface. Need to be taking care about in having with reference of the class and need to be access that particular interface methods. Continued with the same, we need to be understand the one more concept. What is that concept? Exception handling. Need to be understand that one more concept that it will be mentioning that exception handling. Just take care about writing with new heading, mention that exception handling. Just take care about write with new heading, mention that exception handling. Right. What is the heading? Exception handling. So let's understand what exactly mean by this and how exactly we can take care about this particular exception handling. So let's understand what exactly mean by this and how we can take care about in implementing this particular respective exception handling. Let's see the understanding. The very first thing we can take care about, right? So the very first thing we can take care about in working with or utilizing with Eclipse. If I'm taking with Eclipse, what is the use of Eclipse? Use of Eclipse. Writing with the programs and executing the program. If I'm taking with Eclipse, we need to be get mentioning that, or we need to be get considering that, writing with the programs, and then taking care about executing the program. If I'm taking with this particular eclipse, we can say that writing with the program and considering that executing the program. This part perfectly okay. Now see the understanding. See the understanding while writing the program. While writing the program, there is a chance you may get error. While writing with the program, while writing with the program, there is a chance of you may get an error. At the same time, while executing the program, while executing the program, there is a chance you will be getting error. So two things here. While writing with the program, there is a chance you will get an error. At the same time, while executing the program, there is a chance you will get an error. In case of getting the error, in case of getting the error while writing the program, in case of getting the error while writing the program, consider that syntax error. If you are getting error while writing with the program, considering the syntax error. Now, in the same way, we need to take care about getting the error at the time of execution. Getting the error at the time of execution. Third, it will be considering the runtime error. So we got two things here. One, it will be taking with syntax error, and one, it will be taking with runtime error. If I'm taking with syntax error, we can say that getting the error at the time of writing the program. If I'm taking with runtime error, we can say that getting the error at the time of executing the program. Now, in case of syntax errors, in case of syntax errors are handled by Eclipse. Syntax errors are handled by Eclipse. In case of runtime errors, in case of runtime errors handled by exception handling. See the concept here. See the concept. If I'm taking with Eclipse, we are taking care about in working with Eclipse. If I'm taking with Eclipse, that particular Eclipse, considering that writing with the program and taking care about executing the program. If I'm taking with getting the error while writing the program, consider that syntax error. Getting the error while executing the program, consider that runtime error. In case of syntax errors handled by Eclipse, runtime errors handled by exception handling. I mean, while working this programming, if you want to be get handle this runtime errors, if you want to be get handle this particular runtime errors, how exactly we can handle that particular runtime errors. To get handle, to get handle runtime errors, to get handle runtime errors, we are taking with exception handling. How exactly we can implement, how exactly we can implement exception handling. See the concept. See the concept. To implement exception handling, to implement exception handling, you are taking care about one statement. You are taking care about one statement which we can consider that try block, or we can consider that try statement. While working with programming, if you want to get implement exception handling, we need to take care about in using with try statement. We can consider that try block. So what exactly the functionality or purpose of try block? If I'm taking with if I'm taking with try block, within a try block, whatever the code you want to write it according to that requirement, according to that requirement, what exactly the code you want to write it, you will take care about in writing with that particular code. Whatever the code you want to write it, it will take care about in writing with that particular code. Once you write that code, once you write that program, it will execute it. While executing, while executing this try block, while executing this try block, what it will do? Functionality of try block, functionality of try block, purpose of try block. It will try, it will try to identify the errors. It will try to identify the errors. In simple, the functionality of try block, the functionality of try block, we can say that identifying the errors. The functionality of try block, identifying the errors. So what is the functionality of try block? Identifying the errors. I mean, whenever the program is executed, whenever the program is executed, it will take care about whenever the program is executed, it will take care about, it will try to identify errors in that code. Whatever the code you written in simple, functionality of try block, functionality of try block, identifying the errors. What is it? Identifying the errors. What is the functionality of try block? Identifying the errors. Now, try block is taking care about, try block is taking care about in just identifying the error. Try block is taking care about in just identifying the error. Okay. See the understanding. If I'm taking with try block, what is the functionality of try block? Identifying the errors. Okay. Now, this try block, program executing, it is trying for error. Error is identified. Just assume that error is identified. Once error is identified, once error is identified, it will not print that error. Try block is not printing the error because the functionality of try block. What is the functionality of try block? Identifying the errors. It will just take care about in identifying that particular error. Once error is identified, need to be get print that error. Need to be get print that error. For that, you will be taking with one more statement that you can consider catch statement, or we can consider catch block. According to terminology, we can say that try block and we can say that catch block. What is it? Try block and catch block. Whenever you are working programming, while working this Java programming, if you want to implement exception handling, if you want to implement exception handling, we cannot work with only try block and we cannot work with only catch block. See the understanding. To implement exception handling, we cannot go with only try block and we cannot go with only catch block. It's mandatory. We need to go with try block and catch block. It's mandatory. We need to go with try block and taking with catch block here. Now, if I'm taking with try block, what is the functionality of try block? Identifying the error. In the same way, functionality of catch block, we can say that catching the error. Functionality of catch block, catching the error and printing the error. Functionality of catch block, catching the error and printing the error. So if I'm taking with try block, what is the functionality of try block? Identifying the error. If I'm taking with catch block, what is the functionality of catch block? Catching the error and printing the error. The functionality of catch block. What is the functionality of catch block? Catching the error and printing the error. Now, if I'm taking try block, functionality of try block, identifying the error. So try block, error is identified. That error catching by catch block, not only catching by catch block, taking care about in printing that error. But while printing that error, when you are doing programming, or when you are practicing your programs, when you are practicing the program, is that you will get only one type of error? When you are practicing your program, it's not like you will get only one error in always. You will get different type of different type of errors. Because of that, what Java guys has been done? What Java guys has been done is already they got analyzed what type of error we can get. Java guys already they have been analyzed what type of errors we can get. For each and every error, what type of error message? As an example, error 1, one message, error 2, another message, error 3, another message. For each and every particular error, for each and every particular error, what type of error message need to be printed? It's already provided. All that error messages, what Java guys has been done is, what Java guys has been done is, all that particular error messages, they provided in one predefined class. They provided in one predefined class. What is it? What is it? Exception. If I'm taking with this particular exception, if I'm taking with this particular exception, we can say that superclass. What is it? Superclass. Superclass of all predefined. Superclass of all predefined error messages. If I'm taking with this exception, if I'm taking with this exception, in simple, we can say that if I'm taking with exception, we can mention that superclass of all predefined error messages. Superclass of all predefined error messages. Meaning of predefined? Meaning of predefined? Defined by the language. That means, in simple, what Java guys has been done is, according to the programming, what kind of errors we can get, all that error messages, they kept in one class. That is what we are saying, that exception. So what is the meaning of that exception? Meaning of that exception? Superclass of all predefined error messages. Okay. Now, if I'm taking with catch block, what is the functionality of catch block? Catching the error and printing the error. See that how it is working. First, it will go with try block. Functionality of try block, identifying the error. Try block will identify the error. That error catching by catch block. It will come to the catch block. In the catch block, what you provided? Exception. Meaning of that exception? Superclass of all predefined error messages. Okay. Now, if I'm taking with this catch block, it will understand that what is the error. So that error message, it will be passing to the variable of E. You can provide any variable name. You can provide any variable name. Doesn't make any problem. For understanding, I just mentioned that E. And then taking care about in printing that particular E. Taking care about in printing that particular E. Let's see that. See the understanding? If I'm taking with catch block, what is the functionality of catch block? Catching the error and printing the error. It has to be print the error. It has to be print that error message. That error message, it cannot print all the error message in one time. It cannot print multiple error messages at the same time. At a time, it will take care about in printing one error. Because of that, what catch block will be doing? It will be catching the error. It will come to this exception. Meaning of this exception? Superclass of all predefined error messages. Superclass of all predefined error messages. Okay. Now, this catch block, it will look into that. This catch block, it will look into that error message. That error message will be sending to the variable of E. That error message, it will send variable of E and we are printing that particular variable of E. By that, in the output, you can understand that what is that error. By seeing that error message as a user, we can understand that what exactly that particular issue. According to that, will take care about in resolving that particular issue. See the concept here. You have been already practicing the Java programs. Practicing or not? Working, huh? No errors, huh? Too talented, sir. Java we came, sir. We are playing the games with the Java, sir. Uh-huh. Okay. Sometimes error, huh? Okay. When you are practicing the Java program, you are getting the error. See the understanding. So you have been practicing our previous program. If we look into any of our previous program, if we look into any of our previous program, did we implemented concept of exception handling? Did we implement it? Yes or no? No, we have not implemented concept of exception handling. That means implementing exception handling is not like mandatory. Implementing exception handling is not like mandatory, but according to real-time standards, it is suggestible that according to real-time standards, it is suggestible that to implement exception handling. The reason is when you are implementing exception handling, how you are implementing exception handling? How we are implementing? By using only try block, only catch block. How we are implementing exception handling? By using try and catch block. Always remember that. We cannot work with only try block. We cannot work with only catch block. We cannot work with only try block, and we cannot work with only catch block. It's mandatory that we need to take care about in implementing with try block and taking with catch block. Because of that, when you're taking with catch block, functionality of catch block, catching the error and printing the error. When it is printing the error, nothing but it will print error message. What exactly the error you are getting related to that particular error, it will take care about in printing with that particular error message. While printing that error message, it will refer the class name. What is the class name? Exception. Meaning of exception? Superclass of all predefined error messages. By that, what exactly the error message it was printing, the way of error message it has been printed, we can easily understand it. What is that error? If you are not able to understand, if you are not able to understand that error message provided by catch block, error message provided by catch block, we can provide in Google. We can easily understand what exactly the issue is related to. The conclusion is while working programming, while working programming, if you want to begin implement with exception handling, we can easily understand that what exactly the issue is related to. Because of that, according to the real-time standards, always it is suggestible that to get implement with exception handling. Now, see the understanding. How we can implement exception handling? How we can implement exception handling? By using try block and catch block. See the understanding. When you are taking with execution, when you are taking with execution, first it will come to try block. First it will come to try block. If I'm taking with try block, functionality of try block, identifying the error. So try block will identify the error. If error is identified, if error is identified, that error catching by catch block. That means try block will be executed and catch block also executed. Try block will be executed and taking with catch block also executed. Okay. Now see the understanding. While executing try block, if error is there, it will come to the catch block. Catch block will execute. Assume that there is no error in the try block. Try block executed. There is no error in the try block. If there is no error, in case of there is no error in the try block, then catch block will not be executed. See the understanding. If there is no error in the try block, catch block is not executing. In simple, if I'm taking with catch block, when catch block is executing, when catch block is executing, catch block is executing only in case of errors in try block. Catch block is executing only in case of errors in try block. In case of there is no error in try block, If there is no error in try block, then your catch block will not be executed. See the understanding. Catch block. When catch block is executing, when catch block is executing, any error in try block. If there is no error, if there is no error, catch block will not be executed. While implementing exception handling, while implementing exception handling, it's mandatory that you need to be get go with try and catch block. It's mandatory that you need to go with try and catch block. But while executing, if I'm taking with catch block, when catch block is executing, any error in try block. Okay. Now, to implement exception handling, to implement exception handling, how we are implementing? How we are implementing? Try and catch a block. One approach. Otherwise, we can go with one more approach. We can go with one more approach using the keyword. Using the keyword. What is the keyword? What is the keyword? Throws. As simple exception handling. We can implement in the two ways. Two approaches we got. One approach, try and catch a block. Another approach, throws keyword. Now, see the whole concept here. As a programmer, we are taking care about in doing the coding. That coding, that programming, you are taking care about in Eclipse. If I'm taking with Eclipse, what is the use of Eclipse? Writing the programs and executing the program. While writing the program, there is a chance of getting an error. While executing the program, there is a chance of getting an error. If you are getting the error at the time of writing the program, consider as syntax error. In case if we got an error at the time of executing the program, consider as runtime error. Syntax error handled by Eclipse. That particular runtime error handled by exception handling. I mean, it's not like Eclipse is fixing the error or exception handling is fixing the error. They are not fixing the error. They are suggesting what type of error. They are suggesting that what is that error. If we want to implement exception handling, how we can implement exception handling? How we can implement exception handling? By using try block and catch block. One approach. What is another approach? Taking with throws. If I'm taking with try block, functionality of try block, identifying the error. Functionality of catch block, what is it? Catching the error and printing the error. If we take catch block, when catch block is executing, any error in try block. If there is no error in try block, catch block will not be executed. So let's see that how exactly we can take care about in writing with this particular program. Let's understand that what exactly that particular syntax can be followed in working with that particular exception handling, so that it can take care about in providing with any of the name that will take care about in creating with class. So once we got create that particular class, it will take care about in writing that particular respective code. Let's see that how we can do that. Right. Now, see the understanding. So we need to begin creating with the class. After that, you will be taking with that particular main method, which need to be get take care about main method that you will be taking with string args. Okay. So after that, we need to take care about the simple logic, taking with try block and taking care about printing one statement that you will be taking with 10 by 0 and and then printing that particular value that you will be taking with a. See the understanding. Can we work with only try block? No. So we need to go with catch block. We cannot work with only try block, which need to be get take care about catch block. That we will be taking with mentioning the exception A. Okay. So now I need to take care about in printing with that particular respective A. Now see the program, see the concept. If I'm taking with Eclipse, in the Eclipse, any error is there? In Eclipse, do you have an error? Right. See that. If I'm keeping this, what it is mentioned? What it is mentioned? Syntax error. Meaning of syntax error? Yeah. Syntax error. Huh? Meaning of syntax error. Getting the error at the time of writing the program. The meaning of syntax error, considering that getting the error at the time of writing the program, that will be taking with syntax error. While writing with the program, we got an error that will be considering that syntax error, which need to be get handled by Eclipse. I mean, just Eclipse is suggesting that what exactly that particular type of error. Is it Eclipse is fixing the error? No, Eclipse will not fix the error. Just it will suggest you that what kind of error is related to. So now, as a programmer, we need to be get understand that what exactly that particular error. Now I can see that we are just taking care about in resolve that particular error. Now we'll run the program. If I'm taking with Eclipse, is there any error in the Eclipse? Are we able to say any error in the Eclipse? No. While writing the program, there is no error. Let me run the program. Let me run the program. See that. If I'm taking with executing with the program, if I'm just taking care about executing the program, running the program, taking with run as, what is the option? Java application. Now see that. Any error we got? What is error? It is printing. Arithmetic exception. I mean, once you run with the program, this error message is provided at the time of writing the program. No, when we are getting at the time of executing the program. At the time of executing with the program, we are getting this particular respective error message. That is what we need to be get mentioned that runtime error. You are getting the error at the time of executing the program. See that it got executed. Try block. Functionality of try block, identifying the error. That error is identified. Then it got catch block. Functionality of catch block, catching the error and printing the error. If I'm taking with this particular catch block, need to be get take care about in catching that particular error and printing that. So this is we are able to see that what is error message it is printing? Arithmetic exception. It is clearly mentioning that arithmetic exception. So by seeing this message, by seeing that error message, we can understand that what exactly that particular issue is related to. We can understand that what exactly that particular error message, error is related to. That it will be taking with arithmetic exception. That means we can understand that there is some issue related to arithmetic activity. Okay. So now this time try block executed, catch block also executed. Okay. Now what we'll do is I'll take care about 10 by 3. I'll take care about 10 by 3. Now I can see here in the eclipse, is there any error? If I'm taking eclipse, any error is there? No, there is no error. If I'm taking with execution, run as, what is the option? Java application. Let me execute. Let me run the program. Any error in the runtime? Is there any error? No. So there is no error in the runtime. So once we got execute, we are not having any error in the runtime. So that means this time try block executed. Catch block. Catch block is executed or not? If we take with catch block, what is the functionality of catch block? Catching the error and printing the error. Any error is printed here? Any error is printed? No. That means is that our catch block is executed? No. So our catch block is not executed. It has been executed. Only try block. But the result, it has to be printed in decimal, right? When you take the 10 by 3, it has to be printed in the decimal. Why it is not printed? What is it? The data type. What you provided? No. In the program, what we provided? Int. In the program, we provided int. In the program, we got provided int. Because of that, it is not printing that particular decimal. In case, if you want to print that particular decimal, then you need to be take care about taking with float. Then you will be able to see in having that particular point values also. Okay. So the conclusion, if you want to be get implement with exception handling, we need to take care about in implementing with exception handling by taking with try and catch block. Okay. Now in the same program, what we'll do is previously we have been discussed about the concept of arrays. Remembered? Arrays concept. Remembered or not? What you remembered? Arrays you remembered. Okay. Meaning of array? Meaning of array? Group of similar elements. If I'm taking with that array concept, we can mention that group of similar elements or group of similar values. Okay. Now I'm taking with one particular array. I'm just taking with one particular array. See the understanding? See the understanding. I'm just taking with one particular array. Okay. Now, if I'm taking with execution, if I'm taking with execution, I need to be get mentioned that a of 12. I need to be get mentioned that a of 12. Okay. Now, see the program. Just look into the Eclipse. In the Eclipse, are we seeing any error? In the Eclipse, do we have any error? No. In the Eclipse, there is no error. Let me run the program. Let me run the program. What is the option? Run as Java application. Any error message? What is error message we got? We got error message. Array index out of bound exception. Previously, what is error message? Arithmetic exception. Now what is the message? Array index out of bound exception. Is that both are same? Is that both are same? No. From where we are getting these messages? From where we are getting these messages? ఈ messages అన్ని ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తున్నాయి? Predefined only, but where that I was available? Is that available in Bangalore? Java, na? Uh-huh. What is it? What is it? Exception. In the catch block, you mentioned that exception. So that is what we mentioned. If I'm taking with exception, meaning of that exception? Superclass of all predefined error messages. If I'm taking with the Java guys, already they provided all the error messages in that class name of exception. Catch block is understanding what is the message need to be get printed. According to that, it has been taken care about in printing with that particular respective error message. Okay, so this is what it has been taken care about in printing with error message. Now I'll take care about in mention with a of 2. Now I'll run the program. If I run this program, what is output it will print? 20 or 30? 20 or 30? Why 30? Index will start from 0. So according to our understanding, while working with this particular respective arrays concept, we need to take care about that particular index. Index will start from 0. Because of that, it is taking care about in printing with the output is 30. So the concept is we need to be get understanded. Taking care about in following with that particular required syntax related to that particular exception handling. Related to that particular respective exception handling, we need to be get understand that particular respective syntax. This is what we need to take care about in implementing with try block and taking with catch block here. If you want to implement exception handling, one will be taking with try and catch block, one option. Another option, it will be taking with, what is another option? throws. That is very straightforward. Just we need to take care about using that particular respective keyword. So how exactly we can take care about using that particular respective keyword, that you will understand it. So for now, take care about in using that particular respective syntax to be followed, taking with try block and catch a block. So now if I'm taking with the required concepts of Java, what is the first concept hidden? What is it? Class. After that, what is it? Method. After that, what is it? Object. After that, what is it? Data types and variables. After that, taking with static methods. After that, what is it? Conditions. After that, taking with loops. After that, what is it? Keywords. After that, which you will be taking with arrays. After that, taking with scanner. After that, taking with switch. After that, taking with inheritance. After that, taking with polymorphism. And then need to take care about in having with encapsulation, taking with mentioning that abstraction. So need to be get mentioned that abstraction, after that interface, and finally exception handling. At any cost, you need to be get comfortable taking care about these particular Java concepts. But again, I'm saying that for interview, it's not like you are restricted only these concepts. Along with these concepts, try with the regular Java programs, the regular Java interview program. As an example, we mentioned that even number, odd number, reverse of the string, reverse of the number, printing duplicate characters, lot of individual programs will be there. You have to take care about. You need to begin taking care about in printing with all that particular respective programs here. So please take care about, in practicing with all that particular programs. That is what you need to be get comfortable. So by this, we are stopping with training, not training, stopping with Java, and need to start with what is it? Selenium. So we need to be get take care about our actual Selenium. Till now, we are just comfortable taking care about all the syntaxes here. Now we need to take care about the actual concept of Selenium. To write that particular Selenium program at any cost, you need to be get comfortable all these concepts, all these particular concept and all the syntaxes. Along with that, while attending tomorrow session, please refresh all the Java syntax